Good morning. What's up? I'm good. Wake the hell up. I'm definitely going to call you. I know I've been saying that for the longest, but I promise you I'm going to call you as soon as I'm done with this live. I'm serious. I was having problems with my phone. I was going through a lot of issues, but I promise you, I'm definitely going to call you when I'm done with this live chat because I need to speak with you about doing this Google Hangout because I want to do it soon. So I'm definitely going to be hitting you up. And to make sure. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Good morning. How you doing, Chris? Thank you for stopping in. What's up, guys? Two of my dudes in the room this morning with me. Wake the hell up. And Chris from League of Dads. Thank you guys for stopping by this morning to holler at me. What's up, Doran? One of my regulars. Good morning. How y'all doing? What's good? It is your girl, Lady Mocha. Thank you for stopping by and dining in with your girl here at Cafe de Paris. I go by the name of Lady Mocha. I am your diva in knowledge. You know, I'm always serving you wisdom, truth, and knowledge. Those are what I like to put on the platter, and that's definitely what I'm going to serve for you guys this morning. Okay, good. I'm glad you can hear me. Wanted to do a quick video this morning. I know it's Monday. Everybody got to get their heads on straight. You got to regroup. Everybody got to go back to work. You got to get your lives back in alignment and everything because it's Monday and all of that. So I get it. So I'm going to try not to oversaturate your brains too much this morning. But basically, I want to thank y'all for stopping by to hang out with me this morning really quick. Wanted to do a quick little summary on this incident that's going on with rapper Fabolous, okay? I know everybody's been hearing about this incident. It's been all over the news. It's been all over the media. Let me start off by saying this is not a feminist video. This is not a feminist video. The purpose of me doing this incident about rapper Fabolous and his girlfriend Emily is to prove a point to the fact that women are willing to take so much crap, you know, just to preserve the life of luxury. How far women are willing to go to be abused. How much crap, you know, women are willing to take and deal with just so they could preserve the lifestyle, just so they could preserve the luxury. They could preserve the benefits of being with somebody of stardom, with being with somebody of status. You have women that are willing to take all type of abuse and all type of disrespect just so they preserve that lifestyle. And as much as women say they want a man with money, they want a man with money, they want a man with status, the problem is when women put themselves in this position to be with men who have that type of power, who have this type of clout, the problem is women put themselves in very compromising positions. And that is my purpose of doing this video. They basically state that there are so many women that are willing to get abused, that are willing to get disrespected, that are willing to be trampled over like an old pair of shoes just so they could be with their quote unquote rapper boyfriend or to be with their rapper athlete or whatever type of status that a man has. They're willing to take all type of disrespect just so, you know, they can enjoy the benefits. They can enjoy the fruits of being in the limelight based on the type of men they're with, based on their success. So that's basically what this video is basically about. This is bigger to me than just the fact that rapper Fabolous and this video went viral with him assaulting his girlfriend. Now, for all of you who have not seen the video yet, I'm gonna see if I could go ahead and throw you guys that link while I'm talking to you. So if you didn't see the video already, you get a chance, you could log on this link that I'm getting ready to post. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, that's basically what this that is what this video is about. I just put the link there. If you guys get a chance, ladies, guys, if you get a chance, you check out the video. You're going to see the incident that is occurring between rapper Fabolous and his girlfriend Emily. Okay, now keep in mind, I don't know the whole incident. I really cannot take sides, even though it does look bad on Fabulous part. It looks very bad, being the fact that he's threatened her father, and I can tell based on what I saw in the video, if her father and her brother wasn't there, he probably he would have did the Ike Turner on her, because he was getting ready. I can tell towards the end of the video, he was getting ready to approach her. He was approaching her in a very aggressive manner, and it took the bodyguard to step in between her and him. Had nobody been there, I can't say for sure, but he would have gave her the business had somebody not been there to intervene. I can't really take sides on this. I don't know. I'm only seeing the video. I don't know what happened prior to that. I can't take this woman's side. I can't say she's 100% the victim. I really don't know. I'm just catching the middle of the movie. I wasn't there when the movie started. I don't want to make too much assumptions based on this just this piece of the video, because it's just showing the incident. This video is not showing what happened before this went down. I don't know, but the one thing I can say is this: he's not looking really good, because the fact that he's already a black man, that's already that's already a strike against him. When you are a black male, and anytime you are in a situation where you are arguing with a woman, or you are approaching a woman in a very hostile manner, automatically the law is going to automatically assume that you are the one at fault. And that is why black men need to be very careful when they put themselves in these type of situations. If you ever get in a situation where you're arguing with a woman in public, where you threaten a woman in public, it don't matter what all she did to cause that to happen. It don't matter what she did. They're going to look at what the hell you are doing at that current moment in time. Okay? So for all of you men out there, be very careful how you put yourself in a certain situation with a woman when you are in public. Because once those cameras get to rolling and somebody gets a video of you and you are up there like Fabulous is doing, you threatening, you assaulting, I don't know what made him so mad, what stirred him up to have to get out of character like that. This is why you have to be very careful, gentlemen, because automatically the law doesn't too much favor men as it is, so y'all have to be very careful when y'all put yourselves in certain situation. Yeah, I heard he knocked her two front teeth out, but Doran, this is the biggest picture. This is what I want everybody to understand, because I know that's the part that everybody's focusing on. Everybody's focusing on what her teeth getting knocked out, which I don't agree with any type of domestic violence. If you a grown ass man, you shouldn't be putting your hands on another woman. If you a grown ass woman, you shouldn't be putting your hands on another man. Before it gets that bad, somebody needs to wise up, put on their big man jaws or put on their big girl panties and leave the situation. Nobody is worth you getting a criminal record. Nobody is worth you getting your reputation tainted and everything you work so hard to build. Never allow anybody to get you that angry to the point you are willing to jeopardize all of what you work for, all because you're angry and you have no control over your anger. Let me see. Oh, good morning, Hershey Kiss. Thank you for coming in. This is the point I want everybody to understand, okay? I don't want everybody to so much focus on the details of the situation. That is not the part that I want everybody to focus on. The part that I want everybody to focus on is the fact that she's been with him for 10 years. Okay? Before we take this one situation with this video and blow it out of proportion and make him look like the villain and make him look like the devil, keep in mind, this devil, he didn't just do this today. He's been doing this. Y'all just catching this video going live. This been going on. She's been with him for 10 years. For some of y'all, I know a lot of people are not reality show viewers, but when Love and Hip Hop first came out, if anybody, I think they was on Atlanta. No, Hip Hop in New York. That was the season she was on. She's been dealing with this. Before we cry victim, before we send her Hallmark cards, before we start, giving her all this sympathy and empathy, we got to take this all the way back. Let's take it all the way back. Because see, this is the problem. People want to make judgments based on what they see when they coming in the middle of the movie. You wasn't there when the movie started. All right. So before we start, sending her balloons and Hallmark cards and flowers from FTD, before we do all of that, you got to go back to the history. When they first did the show, she was with him. She's been with him 10 years ago. I think that show came out. I can't remember when Love and Hip Hop came out. I don't know if that was 2010, 2011. I don't know. She's been with him 10 years. And I just remember when I seen that particular season with her on there. I believe that was a season when she was with Chrissy, rapper Jim Jones' girlfriend, because the cast has changed so much. But all of y'all who've been keeping up or remember the show from back then, she was on that particular cast. That was when Love and Hip Hop first really started out, before Stevie J and before Jocelyn and all of that got put on. She was one of the ones that was there from the beginning. She been having problems with Fab. She was saying then how, he was dealing with all kind of women, how he would never commit to her. Now, keep in mind, she's been with him 10 years, okay? He never married her. And she done had a second child from her since then, okay? So, which means that, basically, she already knew what she was dealing with. And she didn't have a problem with dealing with Fab for who he was, okay? So, when she first got with Fab and she first got on the show, she was stating then, she was saying all the stuff she was going through with him. I remember there was one scene where she did like a photo shoot. It was a family photo shoot because she has a daughter from a previous relationship. And at that current time, she had one son from him. She had just had a little boy from him, okay? She was already going through it with him then, all right? He didn't even show up to the photo shoot. So it already let me know that there was trouble in paradise. And don't forget the thumbs up, y'all. When y'all get a chance, don't forget the thumbs up. Good morning for everybody who's just tuning in. What I'm talking about this morning is the situation that happened with rapper Fabolous and with him assaulting his girlfriend Emily B. And basically the reason why I decided to discuss this situation, because right now everybody's giving Fabolous a lot of heat for this situation. And he's getting attacked by the media, and he's looking like the villain. But what I'm trying to make a lot of people understand is this ain't something that just started happening. Emily already knew what kind of guy she was with. Like I said, he didn't show up to the family photo when she was doing the reality show. He never was really in the picture then. He never really was really involved. You can kind of tell he really wasn't feeling her the way she was feeling him. Okay, but I guess because he's this rapper and because they had this child together, that was enough for a reason I guess she felt she needed to keep holding on and preserving the relationship. And keep in mind, she turned around through all of that, him stepping out on her, being with other women, him never committing to her because she's been with him 10 years. They're still not married to this day. So she turned around and had another child from him. They have a 2-year-old. Okay, the first child I think they have was like 10 and 11. She just had a 2-year-old from him. So in the midst, she still got pregnant from him again. A second time around with no ring, no real commitment. She still got pregnant from him again. I say all that to say this. We have too many women that's going around here pulling the victim card. Okay, this been going on. She knew what she married. She knew what she signed up for. But what happens is a lot of times when women get with men on this type of status, they love the lifestyle more than they love, themselves. That's what ended up happening in this situation. Now, keep in mind, she does have her own money. From my understanding, she's supposed to be like a stylist to the stars or whatever. So she's been making her own bread. But she don't have the kind of bread he have. The incident that occurred, it happened at his house in his mansion and stuff. So You can basically tell she's in a sense, she's still kind of relying on him and she's still kind of dependent on him. So that's basically what's going on. She's done put herself in a situation where she's got adjusted to depending on him based on the type of lifestyle that he lives. And you have a lot of women who are in abusive situations right now because they're so drawn to the fact that the man is such an excellent provider. And because he can provide, they're willing to take all type of abuse, all type of disrespect, just so they can be with that man. My thing is this. I'm quite sure she's been with him 10 years. He did not just, what he did on the video, he didn't just do that. He been doing that. And she never had a problem with it up until now. So why all of a sudden she decided to have her father and her brother come over there, and for them to have come over there, they already know she's been dealing with this for a long time. And the thing about it is, it's unfortunate that a lot of women put themselves in positions where they allow themselves to be in unhealthy relationships with men who are abusing them, with men who are hitting on them. But what I've learned, and I could be wrong for saying this, and it may sound mean, and it may sound harsh, and I may even lose some brownie points, but I strongly believe that some women like to be abused because they like the attention they get from it. That's just my opinion. To me, some women like to be abused because they like the attention that comes from it. Okay? Most abused women are used to getting sympathy, and they're used to getting somebody to empathize with them. So what happens is the woman becomes more she becomes more thrilled with the attention, because who she really wants the attention from is the man who's abusing her. That's who she really wants the attention from. But because she can't get the attention she wants from the man, when he abuses her or he puts her in an abusive situation, she will she will let other people know about the abuse that she goes through with him. That way people can sympathize for her and feel bad for her. I believe that's kind of what's been going on with this whole situation here. It's like she wanted him to flip out. Let me see. Curly, Letterly. I agree and I kind of disagree. I agree with the fact that it's a part of him, a part of her. She wanted him to really act up so people could really, really see how hostile he was at that moment in time, because she's been with him for a long time. So she knows what it takes to get him angry. She knows what it takes to get him upset. So she's been with him long enough to know what buttons to push. But in a sense, I do believe she was very fearful. I believe she was, because this ain't the first time he done put his hands on her. This ain't the first time he done did it. So I believe she was afraid. But this is the thing about it, Curly. She fears him, but she don't fear him enough to leave him. And that's the problem with a lot of these women that get abused. They will put on this performance and cry victim, and will make themselves look like they're being so abused, and they're the victims. But even with all of that, they still would not leave the situation. They just want sympathy. They don't want to be delivered from the situation. They don't want to be set free from the situation. They don't want out. They just want somebody to hear them out. They don't want out of the situation. They don't want out, because even with all of that was going on, I know a lot of women who have been abused and who have gone through the physical abuse, who have gone through the mental abuse. They will call everybody, get people involved, will get the law involved, will get their family involved, will get their friends involved. They will get everybody involved into feeling sorry for them, into feeling sympathy, and will not do nothing to change that situation. Because they don't want to be delivered from the situation. They don't want to be delivered. They do not want to leave these men who are abusing them. They don't want to leave them. It's women who's in situations like this now, yet they keep getting pregnant from them. They keep supporting them. I would not be surprised if she don't turn around and try to get the charges dropped. But she's not going to be able to, because if they got evidence and she's missing both of her teeth, the state going to take it up anyway. But I won't be surprised if she won't try to go and drop charges. But it's once it's already been put out there, she's not going to be able to save him anyway. Exactly, Carletti. Yeah, she wanted them guns out the house instead of her getting her damn self out the house. She wanted them to move the guns. You know why? Because she knows his temper. She has suffered his wrath. She's already experienced how physical he can get. Who's to say he ain't already put out a gun on her and threatened to blow her head off, which is why she wanted her father and her brother to come and remove the guns. Instead of her having her father and her brother come over there to help her move her things and move out the house and get her out of that situation. She does not want to be saved. Like the song say, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. She don't want to be saved. What happens a lot of the times, and you're right, D. Essex, she's not going nowhere. A lot of the times, ladies and gentlemen, when a woman is being in an abusive situation, she, again, like I said, she don't want deliverance. You know what it is? She wants the man to change. She don't want to change the situation by leaving the situation. She wants the man to change. That's the problem with a lot of these women getting abused. They'll say, he needs help. He needs counseling. He needs therapy. No, what he needs is for you to leave his abusive psychotic behind. That's what he needs. And most abusive men, they don't think they need help anyway. They don't think they need help. And these are the type of women, these are the type of men that women will respect. They will respect a man that puts their hands on them quicker than they will a man who's humble to them, a man who tries to be man enough to walk away from them, a man who tries to be mature enough and leave the situation to diffuse it. They will give a man that's humble more hell than they will a man that's abusive. A man that is abusive to them, 9 times out of 10, these women, I'm not saying all women. If it does not apply, you don't have to reply. If you not this kind of woman, then this message is not for you. But you have a lot of abused women, they will take a humble, easygoing guy through hell. And the men that will turn at them and stump a hole in them. These are the kind of men who they respect. These are the kind of men who they will run behind. And you're right, Hershey Kiss, she does not want to give up the lifestyle. That's the problem with the majority of them. And it's a lot of these women that are tied to these men in the industry, whether they're rappers, whether they're athletes, whether they're big time CEOs, whatever positions they have. These women would rather take the abuse than to give up their mansions, than to give up their Rolls Royce, than to give up their black card. They would rather stay and take the abuse. They do not want to leave that lifestyle. They do not want to give up that luxury. They're not trying to give any of that up. The luxury has become more important to them than their self-esteem and their children's well-being. And my thing is, she has 2 sons from him, and she has a teenage daughter. And what she's not understanding is a lot of these women that are accepting this type of abuse, they're not understanding that they're normalizing this type of behavior, especially if you have sons. Because 9 times out of 10, it's bad enough they're going to have some of Fab's ways because genetically they're his by blood. But it's going to enhance it. They see their father is, physically putting their hands on their mom, verbally abusing her and everything. This is the thing about, dysfunctional couples. I did a video talking about this. Talking about dysfunctional ass couples. Dysfunctional couples who will abuse each other, fight each other, lock each other up, put each other in the hospital. You calling your mama, talking your mama ear off about it. You calling your brother, you calling your sister, running their family in a hole, yet it still stay in the same raggedy, unhealthy situation. And you have some men that do it too. You have some men know that they are with women who are not good for them, that are with women who are constantly testing their manhood, who are constantly disrespecting them, who are constantly challenging them. And I see a lot of guys, I see a lot of dudes that's taking a lot of disrespect off of women too. And instead of them leaving the situation, they calling the woman sister. I don't know what's wrong with your sister. Or they calling the girl mama. I don't know what's wrong with your daughter and why she treat me like this. You know, it's too many spineless men and spineless women that don't have a backbone, that are sitting there and allowing themselves to be disrespected, you know. But he's part of that problem, so he's really mad at himself for taking it out on a woman. Oh, of course. They say most abusers are basically individuals that are very angry with themselves. And what happens is abusers, they take all of their anger out on the weakest link, which is usually the wife. And if it's not the wife, it's the children, or it's both. And basically, when you have some men, because you have some brothers out there with low self-esteem too, okay? Not all brothers are confident. Not all brothers feel sure of themselves, okay? You got some low self-esteem brothers out there too, who don't feel worthy, who don't feel they have all it takes to be a man. And what they do is they lash and they take it out on those around them. And I've never, you know, I could be wrong for this, but I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I'm keeping it real with my viewers and my followers. I'm just going to keep it real. I never really did care for Fab. I never cared for Fab, not because he's just a rapper. I don't even care about that. Put that aside. To me, he's always had this arrogant type of vibe, demeanor. He always had this cocky. To me, there's a difference between a confident man and a cocky ass man. I like a confident man. I like men who are confident in handling their business, you know, who don't always have to be loud, obnoxious to be seen. You know, there's a difference between a confident man and a cocky man. And in me, he's just always came off to me as one of those brothers that always thought a lot of himself. That's just my assumption. That's just my opinion. I don't have no facts. I never sat down with him and had coffee with him. But just based on his interviews, based on, you know, the couple of interactions I've seen him have with others, he just got this arrogant, cocky attitude like he's God's gift to women. You know, and when you're dealing with an individual that's like that, you know, even if you're dealing with a woman who thinks she's God's gift to men, who thinks she can talk to you and handle you all kind of way and challenge your manhood and stuff like that. You know, you don't want to be with a female on that type of level who thinks that she's so beautiful and she's so fine to the point, you know, she could treat you like old dirty laundry. You know what I mean? So sometimes you put yourself in a position to get abused when you are with people who think very highly of themselves, because most abusers are very arrogant. You know, they think they doing you a damn favor just by being with you. Yeah, and it's going to keep going, you know, I'm going to just say Curly Letty. I can't say your name right, but I know you know who I'm talking to. But, yeah, it's going to keep going. What she's doing is she's producing that seed. She's producing that seed. Ladies and gentlemen, when you have a dysfunctional marriage or a dysfunctional relationship in front of your children, what you're doing is you're producing a seed of dysfunction, okay? You're planting a seed. When you allow your children to be exposed to all your chaos, to all your drama, to all the toxicness in your relationship, in your marriage, you're exposing them. You're planting a seed, because what happens is children soak up everything. Teenagers soak up everything. What you're doing is you're normalizing this type of dysfunction in front of your children, and they're going to do the same thing when they get in relationships. You know, so basically, she's definitely not leaving. Yeah, Hershey. 9 times out of 10, she's not going to leave. She's not going to leave. Like I said, she's been with him 10 years. I can't see her at this point. Don't forget the thumbs up, y'all. Don't forget the thumbs up. I don't see her at this point having an epiphany and leaving a situation. That's not going to happen. She's in love with him. You know, she loves him. And a lot of times people get two words mixed up. These are two words that a lot of people get mixed up. Men and women. Y'all have to understand that there's a difference between love and need. I'm going to repeat that again for those who did not, if it didn't marinate. There's a difference between somebody loving you and needing you. For instance, it's a lot of men that are in relationship who thinks a woman is with them because that woman loves them. Okay? You think you got this woman under control thinking she loves you because she's being submissive to you, or you know, or she's making you feel like you king of the jungle in the bedroom and all this and that. Where really it has nothing to do with love. She needs you. You're a good provider. You know, you pay the mortgage, you pay the water bill, you make sure the kids don't want for anything. A lot of people are with people because they need them, not because they love them. You know, and that's where you set yourself up to get used, and that's where you set yourself up to get played. And it's the same thing for you women out here. A lot of y'all think y'all are in relationships and y'all swear that God loves you, and he does not love. He doesn't love you. He needs you. He needs you based on your weakness. He needs you based on your stupidity. You know, a lot of people, they mistake love and need. I'm telling you, one time I know this woman, and this is a true story. This woman was in a toxic ass relationship, kind of like what Fab and Emily going through or whatever, you know. And I never forget, he was one of them dudes that was always in and out of jail for years. You name it, he did it. He always had all kind of women on her. He always been in and out the jail system, and no matter what, she was one of those die-hard ass women. She was die-hard. Go and stick with him. Go and be with him no matter what he does. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, everybody. And basically, he gets locked up in jail. And she goes and gets her little check. And she says, I'm going to go and put some money on his books. And I'm like, wow, you're going to go put some money on his books? And she goes, and I remember asking her, I said, well, why would you put money on his books? You know, every time he goes to jail, he's going to go right back. And every time he gets out of jail, he ends up going back to the other woman because he always juggled her and another woman. He always, for years she's been dealing with that. And her statement was, well, one thing I know, he needs me. At the end of the day, regardless of how many women, he may deal with, or the other woman that, he was dealing with on the side of her thing was she felt like he loved her more because he needed her the most. And not understanding that need and love is not the same thing. And it's a lot of people that's getting that mixed up. You have to ask yourself, are you with this person because you love them? Or are you with that person because you need them? And you also have to ask yourself, is that person with me because they sincerely love me or because they sincerely need me? Okay? As I was stating with this video, with Fab and Emily, I don't know why the media is blowing this out of proportion and making such an uproar. She's been with this man 10 years. She has 2 children from him. She knew what she signed up for. And the whole bottom line is, a lot of the times when a woman gets to the point, with women who are abused, they get to the point they want to call people and get family to intervene. And like she had her brother and her father come over there. He even disrespected them. He didn't even have no respect for them. And this is the thing about abusers. That's why I don't get involved with women who got abusers. I don't deal with them. Because what happens is, not only does the abuser abuse the woman, he abuses anything that's tied to her. If he don't have no respect for her, he's not going to have no respect for her family. He's not going to have any respect for her friends. He's not going to respect anything that's attached to her. And that's the same thing for you guys. You guys. If y'all are in a relationship with a woman that's disrespecting you, with a woman that has no regards for you as a man, for you being the leader of the house, for you being the head of the house, and she disrespects you and walks all over you like an old pair of shoes from the Salvation Army, guess what? Not only she's not going to respect you, her friends are not going to respect you. And I know some men who have gotten so disrespected to the point that even the side nigga that she's messing with don't have no respect for you either. I know some men who have put themselves in such a simp position to the point they even know they old lady around here messing with another dude and will still stick with her. It's some men out there that's taking this kind of crap. It's a lot of men who are not being the kings of their house. They are allowing these women to disrespect them, to go out and have other men on them. It's a lot of men that are taking a bunch of crap too now. It's not just women. It's some brothers out there who done put themselves in a spineless position and have allowed themselves, to be trampled over, Let me see. Every year I realized the guy won't even need me. He used everyone. Yeah, like I said, there's a difference between being used and there's a difference between somebody really loving you and needing you. Because for you who don't understand, for y'all who can't decipher if you're being truly loved or if you're only being used, if you don't know the difference, stop giving them and you'll see what kind of person you have. Stop giving them what they're used to getting from you, and you will see. Because if a person genuinely loves you and wants to be with you, they're going to stick by you whether you got or you don't got. It's as simple as that, And again, I believe she has this. She already has this. She's gotten addicted to the lifestyle, y'all. The bottom line is, Emily is going to be with him. She's going to be with Fab. She's been with him 10 years. He never married her. She had 2 children from him, and she's probably going to have more kids from him. And you have a lot of women that will sit up there and do that crap. You have some women who think adding more kids to the equation will make the situation better. Not understanding that adding more children to the situation only adds more weight. Children do not make a situation better. And you have women who keep sitting up there thinking, as long as I keep giving him kids, as long as we keep having a family, as long as I keep, producing and procreating, that's going to make our marriage better. That's going to make our relationship better. No, if anything, it complicates things because now you got more human beings that have to be involved in y'all chaos. It never changes. Having more children never changes the situation and makes it worse. And about that part, let me see. You have to be there. A person can fake love you to get to where you want to be, and they can be with the next person. Stuff. Exactly, Curly. This happens all the time. Everybody don't get with each other for the right reasons, and it eventually reflects. It will show and prove. Like I tell all of y'all before, anybody can talk a good game. But when it boils down to it, you're going to find out if you really have a real man in your corner or if you have a real woman in your corner. Anybody can sit up there and say, I love you. You mean the world to me. I want to be with you. But the bad part about it is by the time you find out how no good they are, it's usually too late. Because by the time you really find out, it usually happens when you're already down on your luck. It rarely ever happens when you're in a good position where you can do something about it. Most people will spit on you when you already down at your lowest. That's the bad part. When you already drowning, that's usually when people come and pour more water on you. It's when you're already drowning. That's usually when it happens. People don't pull a rug from up under your foot when you're on the level to where you can handle it. They don't pull a rug under your foot when you're in a good place and you can bounce back. No, they wait till you get all the way down to your luck, and that's when they want to pull a fast one on you and you can't do anything about it. So this is why I preach to women. Women so badly want a man with money. They so badly want a man with money. They want men with money. They want a man with a big status. It's a lot of women out here that are intentionally going behind these men with big dollars. They are intentionally going behind these men with big positions, whether they're CEOs, directors, rappers, athletes. Women want these type of men. These are the type of men they're drawn to. But what a lot of women not understanding is when you get with a man that has a lot of money and a lot of power, the bad part about it is this is the same type of person that could really turn your life upside down. That's what you have to be careful with. You have to be careful dealing with people with a lot of money, because people with a lot of money got a lot of power. And they can do all type of things to you. And if you are limited in your resources, and if your money don't stretch like theirs, they can get away with all kind of stuff. I know somebody personally, and out of respect, I will not say this person's name. I know someone personally. She has a child from a big time comedian. Big time comedian. He owns his own radio show. He has his own talk show. He's on the radio every morning. This female I personally know, she has a child from this individual. Okay? He came down here 1 year to do like a show, to do a comedy show, because he's a big time comedian. He came down here 1 year. And that's how him and her hooked up. Okay? She hooked up with this big time comedian. All right? Because she's always been one of those women. She's always going after men with a lot of money. And that's why you got to be careful going after folks with a lot of money. Because they got all kind of power to do all kind of stuff to you. Because money is power. Okay? So she got with him. They had a child or whatever. And I think she even moved to LA or wherever he was staying at the time. So, of course, she was enjoying the benefits and she was enjoying the fruits of his lifestyle, because he's a big-time comedian. He's traveling. He's touring. He's all over the place. Well, long story short, the fantasy became short-lived to where she saw the real him. She saw the real him, and come to find out the guy was very abusive, very aggressive, very possessive. He was a handful. And even more so, there was a big, significant age gap. There was a big age difference between the both of them. He was much older than her at the time. He was probably in his 30s. And she was just in her like middle 20s. I think she's like 23, 24. Actually, he was going on 40. He wasn't even in his 30s. He was going on 40. Okay? So he already had a big advantage. Not only did he have a lot of money, he also had way more years of experience. So in her mind, I don't know how she thought she could come up against something like him and not have to suffer the wrath, okay? And basically, what she tried to do, she tried to run game on him like she did with these square, low-budget dudes, okay? She tried to apply her young, inexperienced, she tried to basically use the same strategy on him that she used on these young, broke dudes that she's used to dealing with. She thought she was going to play that same game with him, not understanding that he was older and the fact that he was successful. He wasn't no dummy. He wasn't about to allow her to come in his life and get a child from him and take his money and benefit off of him. Well, that's what she thought. She thought she was going to be able to take him to court, get money, get this big time child support. When I say he took her through the mill to the point to where at one point in time, he planted drugs in her car. That's just how much of a monster she did not know he was. She went after this millionaire comedian and thinking he was a sucker, thinking he was a simp, and she met her match. She thought she was going to get this big time child support, and none of that happened. Being that they was living in his hometown and his state, he had clout with the judge. He had clout with his celebrityism. I know that's not a word. With his celebrityism, he already had a lot of clout. He had a lot of status. And he had money. And by her being young and dumb and having thought tendencies, because most thoughts are not that smart, she thought she was going to be able to pull a fast one on him. And when they got in that courtroom, he tore her out the frame. He has custody of their daughter to this day. Matter of fact, he has custody of both of their kids. He even has custody of the child that she had from another previous relationship. That's just how much power he had. She thought getting with this man with all this money, she was going to take him for what he got. No, he got smart on her. And being that he had so much clout and so much connections, she couldn't do nothing with him. She couldn't do nothing with him. She couldn't do anything with him. So that's why women got to be careful going after these big ballers. Going after these, men that got so much status. Because while you thinking, oh yeah, I get pregnant from him, I have a baby from him, he gonna have to pay me, I'm gonna hit that 18-year ghetto lotto. It don't always go like that, because what's starting to happen is a lot of these men are getting wise. They're getting smart, and I'm glad they are. Men are not putting themselves in a position to where women could take them for what they have anymore. These men are being smart. They lawyering up. They making sure whatever they buy for these females is in their name. These men ain't playing that mess no more. You're not going to be able to get with people who got money and think you're going to take them for what they got. You know what I mean? So, thank you. Thanks, Red Supreme, for stopping by and dining out with me this morning. As I was mentioning earlier, with Emily and Fab, it is more to the story. I know it's more to the story. I cannot sympathize with her. Now she wants to tell everybody this man knocked her teeth out. Now she wants to tell everybody about all the abuse she went through. You've been with him for 10 years. He didn't just start being this way. You've been dealing with it, and you've been accepting it. And all of a sudden, now you want to expose him. And the sad part is, I don't even know why she's doing this, because we know she's going to be with them. She's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. And it's a lot of women who do this. They will go to the high. They will take it to the extreme. They will, get the law involved, get the courts involved, get family involved to only stay. Because, like I said before, I think some women, they don't mind being abused because they like the attention they get from it. They like the sympathy they get from it. They like the fact that, it's somebody that's hearing them out, that's giving them some attention. But the actuality is they don't want to be delivered. These women do not want to be set free. I know a lot of my females out there, if y'all want to be real and co-sign, all of us, I had that one friend who called you every week with the same problem. Crying about this guy abusing them, crying about saying the same thing. I'ma leave him. I can't take this no more. I can't do this no more. I deserve better. I can't take this. They will sit up there and talk your ear off for 2 hours. They will give you 2,000 reasons for why they need to leave this relationship, why they need to leave this marriage. They will sit up there and give you 2 hours worth of conversation to still turn around and still stay in the same situation, because they don't want to be saved. They want that lifestyle. And a lot of them too, this is another thing with a lot of women like Emily that's in a situation. They think they so afraid that all the years they done put in a relationship, all the years they put in a marriage or whatever, they are so afraid that if they leave that man is going to step up and do better with the next woman. That's what has a lot of women clinging on to dead relationships, because they are so afraid that even no matter how much a man beats them down or takes up everything they have, and this ain't for all men, because all men are not abusive. I'm just speaking on these particular situations, okay? So a lot of these women, they don't want to leave because they're afraid he's going to do better with the next woman. And they're going to be look at, oh man, I've been with him 10, 11 years. He ain't changed. He ain't do none of that for me. Soon as he gets with this woman, he's only been with her 2-3 years. Oh no, only been with her a couple of months. Now he's going to church. Now he's going to counseling. Now he's going to so-and-so. What some women don't understand is sometimes you create the damage that is being done to you. And sometimes it's hard to reverse that. And the same thing for you guys out there. If you allow yourself to be disrespected by a woman, you have allowed a woman to whore around on you, to lie to you, take advantage of you. Once a person has gotten used to disrespecting you, you can't reverse that. You cannot reverse that. Don't forget the thumbs up, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Rocking out with me, your girl, Lady Mocha, here at Cafe de Paris. For all of you who are just tuning in, I'm talking about the Fabulous and the Emily situation. I know it's been going viral. Y'all been hearing about it. And I'm not doing this video because this is not a feminist video. This is not about feeling sorry for Emily. This is not about making all black men look like abusers, making all black successful men look bad. I care about the situation, but I don't care. The reason why I'm doing this video is because it's so many women that are quick to pull out the victim card. It's so many women that will pull the victim card out the deck, knowing this situation been going on for a long time, and you have no intentions on leaving. You have no intentions on leaving. You only exposing this man because you hoping exposing him is going to change him. That's what it is. Not they don't want to. Women don't want to leave the situation. They don't want to end the relationship, no matter how bad the relationship is, no matter how abusive the guy has been. They don't want to leave. They are only putting the guy on blast and exposing him because they thinking exposing the abuser is going to make the abuser change. That's it. They don't want to leave the situation. Because if you really want to leave, you'll know when a person really wants to leave a situation. They are going to leave it. They're going to leave. And they're not going to look back. It's as simple as that. Treat the next one. Of course. Carly. Me and you are on the same page. You feel where I'm coming from. That's what it is. She don't want the next woman to get that mansion. She don't want the next woman to push that Rolls Royce. She don't want the next woman to get access to that black card. She don't want the next woman to get that VIP pass. Of course. She don't want to let go of that lifestyle. Yeah, that's some wisdom. That's some knowledge. Thank you, Curly. That's what I've been saying the whole time. She don't want to leave him. All this is to get him to straighten up. And he's not going to. He's not going to straighten up. Not for her. And that happens. I hear men and women say this all the time. I've heard men say, I've been with her. I've been with my old lady 10, 11, 12 years. I couldn't get her to do half of what this nigga got her doing. I couldn't get her to make me a sandwich. I couldn't get her to wash my boxes. I couldn't get her to do nothing. She with this new man over here. He cooking. She cooking for him. She cleaning for him. She ain't do none of that with me. I was working, giving her half of my check, giving her all my money, paying the bills. I took care of her kids, and her kids wasn't even mine. Blah, blah, blah. You have these men who don't understand. You know why? Because she done got used. This happens to both men and women. When somebody get used to disrespecting you, you can't reverse it. I don't care how hard you try. The reason why they treat you like that is because you have programmed them to treat you like that. You created that monster. And I say it all the time. You created that monster, man and women. If you in a relationship and you getting disrespected and you getting trampled on, you created that demon. And you're not going to be able to reverse it. Sometimes you have to leave. Sometimes, y'all, you got to throw a relationship away and start from scratch. Sometimes you got to throw it away. You got to throw that whole chick away and start from scratch. You got to throw that whole negroid away and start from scratch. You got to start all over. It's too late. You done created a monster. You can't change it. You done allowed too much to go on for too long. You can't reverse it. You can't change. Some things are unchangeable. Some things are beyond repair. It's just beyond repair. It's just as simple as that. Just take it and learn from it. And don't be that damn stupid with the next person. She won't be able to drive that Rolls Royce. Yeah, Hershey. That's actually, I'm telling you, you know what? You brought up a good point. That's what happens. Once you expose an abuser, honey, I'm telling y'all, once you expose an abuser, they're going to make your life a living hell. I guarantee you. He's going to make her so miserable, y'all. If she do stay, he's going to make her miserable as hell. He's going to put so much restrictions on her. She going to be so limited. He's never going to let her live it down. He's not going to let her live it down for putting that out there like that. The whole world done seen it. Abusers don't like to be exposed. Men don't like to be exposed, period, anyway. Men don't like when women put their business out there like that. Men are very prideful. They don't like, for a woman to put all of their issues out there. You know what I mean? That men have a thing with that. Women don't care. Women let it all hang out. Yeah, he's not gonna play with her. And like I said, we don't know the story. They only showing the video. I don't know what happened in that mansion. I don't know what she said to Fab, what she did to Fab. I don't know the whole story. I really cannot co-sign. I can't take her side. I don't know, because I've seen a lot of cases in which, a man would take a lot of abuse, and when he finally snapped, I've seen cases where men have taken a lot of disrespect, have taken a lot of abuse, the woman has challenged their manhood, has challenged their patience, has challenged their humbleness. I've seen women do it, and then when the man gets to the point he can't take it no more and he snaps, now he looks like the villain. And you have some women too. It's some women who done took a whole lot of crap, a whole lot of abuse off a man, and when she snaps, she ends up going to prison doing all the time. When he the one who been beating on her, been fighting her, now she finally decided to stand up for herself and she kills him. She's in prison doing time. That's what I'm saying. Anybody that's in a toxic relationship, you need to end it. End it. It's not worth it. It's not worth all the arguing. It's not worth all the fighting. I tell you, men, if you want to hurt a woman, you don't have to hurt a woman by putting your hands on that woman. You don't have to hurt a woman. That's not hurting a woman. If for all you men out there, if you want to hurt a woman bad, walk off and never look back. Don't tell her where you going. Don't prepare her that you leaving. Don't say, I'm tired of this. I done had enough. Walk off and leave and never come back. That will hurt a woman quicker than you blackening her eye and breaking her ribs. Walk off and leave. A woman cannot handle that. Women, we can't handle abandonment. We can't handle being left. If you're in a relationship where a woman is taking advantage of your kindness, taking advantage of your humbleness, you don't have to threaten her. You don't have to put your hands on her. Walking away and leaving her that's the most painful thing for a woman. When you leave her and you don't prepare her and you never look back, don't do it now if you plan on coming back next week. Don't do it just to prove a point, because after a while it's not going to be effective. She's going to be used to you calling her bluff. You got some people like that. Y'all want to keep calling somebody bluff because in the back of your mind, you really don't want to leave that unhealthy relationship. You want to keep playing games. You want to keep making that person think that you're going to leave them. But after a while, a person see you keep playing games, but you never leave them. They're not going to get threatened. Like, he always do that. He always get mad and be gone for a week or two. He'll be back. But she's really weak. I said it first. Absolutely. And the thing about it, Curly, women are willing to, at any price, are willing to keep their families together. And some men too. And you have some men, they would rather stay in an unhealthy relationship just to avoid child support. just to avoid having to pay alimony. They would rather stay with that woman and be miserable than to leave. We know women that's automatic. Women are going to stay for the sake of luxury and for the sake of that fantasy, because again, it's that fantasy. It's that fantasy of having a family. It's that fantasy of my husband is a rapper. My husband is an athlete. A lot of women have gotten messed up by coming so. Some women are so consumed with their fantasies that they overlook the reality. They are willing to jeopardize their well-being and jeopardize their peace of mind just so they can keep that fantasy fulfilled and to keep that lifestyle. They're willing to take whatever. And you're right, Kenneth. Yeah, low life hoes and dudes. Yeah, they were ruined. You pick up people in your life. You pick up people in your life that are not, are not good for you. They're going to destroy you regardless, man or woman. If you're a man and you pick up a woman with a lot of baggage and she has a lot of insecure issues that have derived from her childhood, she's been abused, she's been molested, or in some cases, some women haven't even been abused or molested, but they're very promiscuous, done been with all kind of men, done and in the process of that, they've been with men who have abused them and men who have used them for everything they have. Basically, you're taking on another problem. You certain people you bring in your life, all you're doing is bringing on another problem. Especially when that person has come from a dysfunctional situation. You're same thing with you women. You pick up with men that come from dysfunctional ass situations. You're dealing with these men who got 8, 9 baby mamas, 10, 11, 12 kids, won't keep no job, been in and out of the correctional prison system. What you think you're going to get? Because you got some men out here who are damaged products too. But there's more women than there are men. There's a lot of women out here who are damaged products. Yeah, and a lot of them, it says cheaper to keep her, but actually it's never cheaper to keep her. If anything, the cost is more high. When you decide to stay in an unhealthy relationship because you don't want to pay no child support or you don't want to kick out no money, it still becomes very expensive because guess what's paying? Guess what you're paying for? You're paying for a peace of mind. It's your peace of mind that you're losing in the process of it. You cannot put a price on a peace of mind. Yeah, yeah, Curly. Yeah, a lot of people will stay in a relationship just to say they have somebody. Just to say they have someone. You have a lot of people that are in dysfunctional relationships and they wonder why they can't grow and they wonder why they can't prosper, because you're dealing with an individual that has a lot of dysfunction, has a lot of mental baggage. You have to be careful, and believe it or not, we all got baggage. Everybody has baggage, okay? But some people got more damn baggage, than the JFK airport baggage claim department. You got some people that got just that much baggage, and you as an individual, you have to decide what is too much baggage for you. Because granted, what many people may think, we all are very judgmental of other people's situation, but some people can handle it. Some people can handle it. And as I stated, this whole situation here, because I know I'm going to get ready to wrap things up in a little while, but this whole situation here is, the whole bottom line is, don't be so quick to sympathize with somebody when they cry wolf, because you don't know the whole situation in and out to go on just one part of the story. Just because somebody, I've seen women do it. I've seen women run out in the street, pull down crying, saying their man just beat them, their man just slapped them down, and automatically the guy's looking like the villain. And these women they're telling you, oh, he found a text message that I've been screwing some other dude on him for the longest, or He found out that the money he was paying, giving me to pay the bills, I took that money and spent it on another man. You know, people are not going to tell you what they did for some of the stuff for them to get the damage that's been done to them. A lot of people are not going to tell you both sides of the story. They're only going to tell you the side of the story that benefits them. They're only going to tell you the side of the story that makes them look good. So you can't really go by. You can't feel sorry for a man or woman. You can't feel sorry for a man because he comes up to you and say, my wife, she cheating on me. She messing around on me. And she doing this and she doing that. And I don't know why she doing this and doing that because I pay the bills. I take care of her kids and her kids ain't mine. You put yourself in a simp situation. Anytime you move in with another woman and her 8-9 kids, you move in on the woman's turf, what you think is going to happen? What you think is going to happen? I mean, a lot of people put themselves in simp situations. Women too. You move in with a man, he got all the money, he got all all the power. You move in with him, you come to him with nothing. You come to him with no money, you come to him with no car, you come to him with no education. And sooner or later, when he gets tired of you, he can get rid of you. He could throw you out on your head because you don't have nothing. You have nothing established. And that's what happens. When you put yourself in a situation where you have nothing, you make yourself become codependent on another individual. You put yourself in a position to get used. You put yourself in a position to get played. You do. You put the ball in that person's court when you on their turf. And in this situation, Emily was on Fab's turf. I don't know if she thought she was safe because she had his kids and because they've been together 10 years. That don't mean nothing. You could be with somebody for 10, 15 years and then they turn around and get rid of you. You know, and it can happen. And if it does happen, you can't be mad with nobody but yourself because you put yourself in that position to get used, to get played. Some people don't have a problem with, well, they know you struggling. No, they know you down and out. Some people mean well. They put you on, bring you in, try to help you better yourself, try to help you to get to the next level. And then you have some people, they put you on. They build you up just so they can tear you down. So you got to be careful. Everybody that lends you a helping hand, that don't mean they got good intentions. People could be doing the right thing, but for the wrong reasons. So you have to, that's where wisdom comes in. You have to have wisdom. You have to have discernment. You have to know when somebody is putting you on because they sincerely care about you. They sincerely want to see you do well. They want to see you accomplish things. And then you have some people, they put you on just enough to where they can keep pimping the hell out you. So it's up to you, how you decide what position you put yourself in, Yeah, you cannot put a price on a peace of mind. You cannot you got some couples, they're more happier living in a 2-bedroom mobile home than the couple that's living in a 5-6 bedroom mansion. Money is not keeping people together, ladies and gentlemen. Money is not keeping people together. If money was keeping people together, then why is these celebrities having so much divorces? Why these rich people that got all this money, they're not together? Money does not keep a couple together. I have preached this 1,000 times. Yeah, that's why I don't listen. I really don't. That's just one of the reasons why, Curly, that I really don't get involved with people who have issues in a relationship. Because a lot of them, you got a lot of dysfunctional couples. They are used to being dysfunctional with each other. They are used to beating each other ass on Monday. No, you got some couples that beat each other ass on Friday, get drunk on Saturday, and beat each other ass some more, and then go to church Sunday like nothing ever happened. You'll be surprised that some couples, that's how they function. Some couples function by abusing each other. That's normal to them. Nobody else on the outside understands that but the both of them. And that's how it is in a lot of relationships. You have a lot of couples, it makes no sense to other people how they function with each other, how they operate with each other. But for that couple, they got to understand it. They got to understand it. You may be a guy and you got a homeboy who allows his wife or his old lady to go out and screw all kind of women on him, and he ain't got a problem with it. You will be surprised. Some people are not that bright. Some people are willing to take all type of crap just to be with somebody. Because you got some men, especially if he was a boy who always, has self-esteem issues, and he never was that good looking in high school. He never was that good looking in middle school. He was a square, a generic brother. Nobody really gave him much attention. The ladies was never really checking for him. He was not the cat's meow. You get brothers like that, they're more prone to picking up these type of women. Because once a woman gives a man that's not used to attention, she gives him attention, and he's not used to that, he'll fall for it. He's not used to women, especially an attractive woman, a beautiful woman, giving him attention, and he finally gets a woman, no matter how much of a thought she is, no matter how much of a whore or a slut, but because she's beautiful and she's attractive, and he's never had an attractive woman in his life, guess what? He gonna deal with her. He gonna deal with her just on the strength of her looks, until either he matures and realizes that looks ain't everything, she's playing me, she's using me, or B, he gets tired of it. One of the others gonna have to kick in, but you got some low self-esteem brothers out here, that's willing to take anything, just to be with that woman because she looks good, because she has a nice body. You got some men that they'll still deal with it. Just when you think you know someone, you find out you don't know. I would tell any and everybody that. I don't care if you've been in a relationship for 30 years. You will never truly know a person. You will never, ever truly know a person for who they really are. Hell, and in some cases, we really don't even know ourselves. As much as we think we know ourselves, as much as we think we know how we are, we don't even know ourselves. It's people sitting in prison right now. Didn't think they would snap and kill somebody. It's people who have done things. Look back on things in your life. Everybody in this chat room has done something they say they would never do and have done it. Everybody in this chat room has allowed something to happen that they know they should have not allowed happen. You know why? Because at the end of the day, we all are human. We all are human. So therefore, if you can't even trust yourself, you never put yourself in a position where you trust somebody wholeheartedly. Because if that person disappoints you and lets you down, it's going to devastate you. You got to always keep in the back of your mind, I don't care how good of a wife she is. I don't care how good of a husband she is. I don't care how good of a companion you have. Always keep it in the back of your mind, this person could disappoint me. And I don't mean they got to disappoint you by cheating on you, or you come home, catch them in the act with your best friend. It's so many ways a person could disappoint you. And you have to be prepared for that. And guess what? You're going to disappoint your partner at some point in time. We all are prone to disappointment. Either you're going to be disappointed or you're going to disappoint someone. It is all a part of life. You are human. None of us is perfect. But some people just do things that are just way beyond. Some people just really push their luck. And only you can change your situation. Wherever you are, you're going to continue to be miserable until you change it. Rather, if you're on a job, if you're in a miserable ass job, if you're in a miserable ass relationship or miserable marriage, you're in a miserable friendship, whatever current situation you're in that's making you miserable, you're going to continue to be miserable until you change it. The problem is, with a lot of us human beings, we don't want to change the situation. We want the situation to change. We don't want to change it. You could be a man with a woman right now who you know is not good for you. You know y'all are not connecting. You know y'all are not on the same page. And instead of you taking initiative to change the situation by either leaving her or doing something different, you know what you do? You sit up there and you hope she change. You hope eventually she figure out how unhappy you are and she'll get it together and she'll change. And the same thing with you women. You know you're in a miserable relationship. You know you're not happy. And what it is, you hoping the other person will get it and come to their senses and change. People are not going to change. Sometimes you got to take the initiative to change the situation. You could be on a job right now and you miserable. Guess what? That boss is not going to change. Those co-workers are not going to change. It's not going to change until you change it, which may mean you may have to either speak up, because you have a lot of people, they could be in a situation and know it's wrong, but they don't have the balls to stand up. There's some people, they don't have the balls to stand up to their own husband, to their own wife, to their own girlfriend or boyfriend and say, I don't like the way you treating me. I don't like the way you disrespecting me. So you got a lot of people, they don't even have the balls to stand up to the people they love. So you damn sure not going to stand up to the people you don't love. They don't have the balls. They'll just do the silent treatment, not talk and not say anything, or either they'll step on the outside of the relationship. That's not changing the situation. It's not going to change until you change it. You're going to continue to be miserable until you do something different. It's going to be the same thing day in and day out. It's not going to get any better than what it is. And that's the same thing with these jobs. Because that was another thing I wanted to bring up, besides the Emily and the Fab situation. Because like I said, basically I'm going to wrap that particular topic up. The bottom line is this. She knows what she signed up for. This is not his first time. I'm sure she's been through this with him. Next, she's been with him for 10 years. A long time. And the next thing is, I know she's not going to leave him anyway. So everybody just need to jump off that bandwagon of being in their feelings with Fab, because she's not going anywhere. That's how I look at it. Yeah, and that's how it is. The more you hold on to situations, you hurt yourself. And that's with anything. Even if you're on a job, because it's a lot of crabs in the workplaces. It's a lot of crabs. We're dealing with a lot of crabs in these workplaces. And the worst type of crabs, more than anything, is black folks. Black folks will stab each other quicker than anybody when it comes to these workplaces. When it comes to these workplaces, we will throw each other up under the bus. We will step on each other's toes to try to get to the next level. I've never seen so many crabs in the damn workplace these days. I'm getting all kind of emails, from my viewers about things that they're going through on the job. All of these managers are abusing their power. These managers are abusing their authority. And it's a lot of good people. It's a lot of good employees that are leaving their jobs because it's people with titles who don't know how to talk to people. And it's people with titles who are abusing their authority. They do not know how to talk to folks. They do not know how to treat you with respect. They do not know how to treat you like a human being. You have some people, they get a title and it goes to their heads. And I noticed that, and I know it's not just a black thing or a white thing, but the main thing I can't stomach is when another black person will do anything to try to bring another black person down within the workplace. That is the worst thing ever. I know from personal experience, I've witnessed that. I've witnessed other black people snitch on each other, tell on each other, set each other up, set another black person up to get fired, to get terminated. And that's happened so many times on all these jobs, and I think a lot of it comes from the fact that, sometimes, in life, when we get to another level in life, the majority of black folks, the majority of us have been oppressed. And a lot of that comes from the fact based on our ancestors. We've had to experience slavery. We've had to experience always being at the bottom of the totem pole. Unfortunately, blacks, we a lot of us have had the experience a lot of ridicule. We've had to experience being mistreated, and a lot of us just have been, treated like second-class citizens. I think a lot of it has to do with, a lot of things that have derived from our history. And I think that it still follows us to this day, even though slavery has been over with. But the problem is a lot of black folks have not abandoned that slavery mentality. A lot of black folks, we are still slaves. We are slaves to our own ignorance. We are slaves to our own insecurities. We are slaves to our own lack of knowledge and wisdom. A lot of us are slaves to that. And because we're a slave to our own ignorance, a lot of us have been stagnant. A lot of us have been stationary. A lot of us have stunted our growth and being better individuals because, we have allowed our own faults. We have become slaves to that. And to this day, it still haunts us. And nothing is more grieving than to go in these workplaces, and see that, your own brother, your own sister not look out for you, and say, look, I want you to do better. I want you to be here for a long time. This is something you need to work on. This is something we need to try to build upon. Black folks will not look out for each other when it comes to these jobs. They will not look out for each other. We will sell each other out in a heartbeat just so we could become the boss's pet. And not realizing that what a lot of black folks, this is what a lot of them are not understanding. White folks see how we treat our kind. They see how we do each other. Okay? White folks witness how we do each other. And the fact that we do each other in and they see it, yet we expect so much respect from them when they see how we do each other. And that is the problem. And that is why the majority of black folks cannot get ahead. Because we're too busy stepping on each other's toes. We're too busy. We always want to be on top of each other. Not understanding that there's enough bread out here for everybody. There's enough out here for everybody. You don't have to step on somebody else's toes to get to the next level. If you are really confident in your job and you know your shit and you are smart and you are wise in what you do, you don't have to step on to the next person to get to the next level. And a lot of people who have done that, a lot of people who have made it, by stepping on a lot of people's toes, by dogging a lot of people, they don't stay up there long because you have to deal with what's called karma. Things got a way of coming back on you. You cannot sit up here and do all kind of things to people and you step on people's toes, you burn a lot of bridges and think when you get up there, it's not going to come back and haunt you. Because it's going to come back because the same people you stepping on, you never know when you're going to need them. And this is what makes me mad with supervisors, directors, executive administrators. What they're not realizing is even though you are the one with the title, it's those that are working underneath you that's making it happen. You are not doing it all by yourself. That is the problem with these people that got titles. You have the title, but guess what? You may be the chief, but it's the Indians that's helping you to keep it going. That is the problem with a lot of these jobs out here. It's always the good employees, of course, that gets booted. Unfortunately, the more humble you are, people will take your kindness for weakness. And the problem is with a lot of these jobs is that a lot of them know you need your job. A lot of people know you need your money. You need to make a decent living. These workplaces, they know that. And because they know it, they will constantly, they will use it to their advantage. They will pile so much on you because they know you need the money and or they know you need the job. And it's true. All of us got to work to pay bills. We all got families we got to provide for. But my thing is this. Never let any job know how bad you need to be there. Even if you need that job bad, you got to act like you don't need it. Because the moment they act like you need that job, I'm telling you, they're going to pile so much stuff on you because they know at the end of the day, you really need that job. And this is the thing. That's why I say it's very imperative that when black folks going on these jobs, make sure you have some receipts. Make sure you have some degrees. Make sure you have something up under your belt. Because if they know you going in there with nothing, they know they can hand you nothing. But if you go in there with some type of receipts and some type of status, they know they just not hiring no average Negro. They hiring somebody with some common sense, with some education, with some skills, with some knowledge, and some abilities. They need to see all of that on your resume. Okay? It's imperative that they know you are not the average Negro. Because that's the problem. As soon as you go in on these jobs, you're automatically going to be judged by the color of your skin. Automatically. You're already going to be sized up just on that alone. And so the last thing you need to do is have some ignorance. And the thing is too with these jobs, a lot of black folks are getting played on these jobs and getting taken advantage of because y'all do not do your research. I can honestly say how many. I'm gonna ask this question here. How many of y'all actually, and be honest, how many of y'all, when y'all started a job, do y'all actually read your employee handbook? Just put Y for yes or N for no. I'm gonna ask the question again. How many of y'all actually read your employee handbook on these jobs? I guess my camera is a minute behind y'all because I see on my end where my video still shows me talking, but it's not showing me this on my end. So if I'm pausing a little bit, y'all, it's because of that reason, because my actual camera is delayed is delayed compared to what y'all are actually viewing. But that's the question I would like to know. How many of y'all are actually viewing? Do y'all view y'all handbooks? Do y'all read these handbooks when y'all go on these jobs? If you're not reading these handbooks, not really, they're telling me their partner and stuff during the hiring process. If y'all are not reading these handbooks, I'm going to tell you now, shame on you. Shame on you. If y'all are not reading these company handbooks, I'm telling y'all going to get played in so many ways if you are not reading your handbook. It's a lot of valuable stuff in that handbook that y'all need to read. You need to know your rights as an employee when it comes to these companies. I'm telling you, the last company I was at, I'm glad I read my handbook because they would have pimped me in so many levels. Because a lot of things I did not know. I did not know. These employers bend so many rules. These managers burn a lot of rules. These directors burn a lot of rules. And if you don't know your rights, they will play the hell out you. I'm telling you, starting today, go to human resource, go to your boss, ask for a handbook. Because you need to be aware of your rights as an employee. It sounds corny. It sounds stupid. You cannot just go by the information they share with you during your orientation. Because they're not going to tell you everything. They're not going to go over everything. You need to know your rights as an employee. The problem with a lot of black folks, we don't do our research. And when you get in a situation, and if you don't know your rights, you will get terminated over stuff you're not supposed to get terminated over. You will be accused of stuff you're not supposed to be accused of. I'm telling you, point in case, to give y'all an example why it's important to read your handbook. The handbook, by law, most companies that hire you are supposed to have a handbook. That handbook explains the rights, the rules, the policies, the procedures. Those handbooks are there for a reason, okay? It lets you know what you can do, what you can't do, what you can get away with, what the employers can get away with, and what the employees can get away with. And if you don't know your SHIT, you're going to get played. You're going to get fired. You're going to get terminated for stuff you're not supposed to get in trouble for because you don't know your rights. Black people do not like to read. We do not like to read and want to be the first one to get mad as soon as we lose our job or we get fired or something like that. We want to get upset. And you set yourself up for failure because you are not keeping up with the business that you work for, the company that you work for. You're supposed to keep up with the rights, the policies, and the procedures. You're supposed to keep up with that stuff. Okay? But you know what they do, Curly? They being slick. They'll tell you certain things on the main paper that everybody reads, but if you go on that handbook, it's going to say something totally different. You will be surprised how much valuable information you overlook when you don't read your company's handbook. Okay? Like, point in case, I'm going to give y'all an example. At my old job, there was this policy that if we wanted a day off, we had to fill out an employee request time off, and we had to at least do it 2 weeks or a month prior, okay? Now, that is what my boss at the time told me, okay? So, well, before the boss even, let me back it up. Before the boss even told me that, I already knew that was company procedure and policy. That if you want a day off, you had to fill out a form at least 2 weeks or a month in advance requesting that day off. So that way you can get that day granted to you. But you got to do it 2 weeks or a month in advance, okay? Now, mind you, I had submitted my document because I knew my rights as an employee. I submitted it a month prior. I didn't even do it 2 weeks prior because I didn't want no excuses. I wanted my days off and I wanted to get them without a problem. So I filled out a little form and everything. And my boss had the audacity to tell me that if I wanted, even though I put in a month now, like the policy procedure said, she said that I was going to have to get HR, which is human resource, to sign off on it. And I'm like, when did this policy start? Because I never even heard of it. She told me that was what they told her at the last employer meeting. That's the new thing now. That every one day off, we got to get HR. We had to get we have to get HR to agree to it. Long story short, I went and I got my handbook. Because I'm like, none of this makes any sense. The handbook didn't say nothing about that. The handbook said the same thing it's been saying. If you want days off, put in 2 weeks to a month advance notice. So what I did was I got smart and I emailed HR behind her back. I didn't want her that I was going to ask HR because I didn't want her to get her P's and Q's lined up in a row. I didn't want her lying to me. So I didn't even tell her. I sent HR an email, and on the email I said, is it true that if I want to get a day off, even if I put a month or 2 weeks in advance, that you will have to sign off in order for me to get it? Because I've never heard of this. I've always known the policy was for the boss to sign off on it. HR emailed me back and said, no, that is not true. I don't have to sign off on you getting your day off. The policy has not changed. Your boss or your supervisor, your director is supposed to sign off long as you put it in advance. So y'all know what I did? I took the email. That's why I didn't call HR, because I needed documentation. I wanted it on paper. Because hearsay ain't nothing. And that's another thing I've learned with these jobs. If it ain't in black and white, it don't matter. I don't care if the boss said it to you 1,000 times. If you don't have it in black and white and you don't have a signature and let you record it their voice, it never happened. Don't ever fall for the this is just a verbal agreement. Always get your boss or supervisor to sign off on a verbal agreement, because them jokers will lie when their back is against the wall. What's up, JP of New Orleans? Thank you for stopping by and dining in with Cafe de Paris. I was talking about a couple of things this morning for everybody who was tuning in. You may have to, when I log out, you may have to log back on and view my recording. I talked about the Emily and the rapper Fabulous verbal altercation that done went viral, and now I'm talking about how you have to be careful in the workplace when it comes to these jobs, because these jobs will do all kind of stuff to screw you over if you're not smart. But what I did was I saved the email, and this how I played it, y'all. I went back to my boss and I asked her. I said, so Miss so-and-so, can you please tell me what that new policy again about if I wanted to get a day or so off, and even though I put it in a month in advance, that HR will have to sign off on it. Are you sure about that? She was like, yeah, that's what they said. HR them told me. Now this helper was lying through her teeth. She was lying like a welcome mat roll. Straight line. I said, oh, okay, well, I went and I saw I sent the email to HR about it because I want to double check. And HR said that actually, as long as I put in a month in advance, that you're supposed to honor that day off. She looked like a deer in the headlight. She looked like a deer in the headlight. You know why? Because they don't think black people, they don't think we smart enough. They don't think we're going to take the time to investigate anything. I'm telling you, black people, they think we slow. They think we lazy. You can't just go by anything these jobs tell you. I know it's sickening to read. I know it's sickening to ask questions. But if you don't ask questions, you will get played. Now think about it. Had I not asked her that, I would have got played. You know? And she couldn't deny it because the email was from the HR. I made sure I highlighted HR name on it. So that way, if she wanted to argue and lie and contest it, I would have told HR about it. And I found out the only reason why she lied and said that was because she didn't really want to give me that day off. She didn't want to give it to me. So she tried to make me go through all type of other avenues to make it hard for me to get that day off. But me being a criminal justice student that I am, I'm a natural born investigator because I'm a Scorpio. Scorpios, we are investigators by nature. And because I'm an investigator, she wasn't able to pull that stunt on me. That's why I tell y'all, when y'all work in the workplace, ladies and gentlemen, read your employee handbook. Find out your rights. Know your policies. Read on that. There's all kind of sneaky little rules. And let me tell you something. A lot of these places, they change their handbook like every 2 years. So you got to be up to date because they change the rules sometimes too. And they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you they done change certain rules. So sit there and be slow and be dumb and be uninterested and act like you don't want to know your rights. Then guess what? You're going to get played. And these people going to pull a fast one on you each and every time because you don't know your rights. Black folks do not like to know their rights. They don't like to find out what they can and can't. They don't want to. Black folks don't want to do the extra research. They don't feel like doing all that extra stuff. You know, because some of us are just lazy. Or we're too ignorant to understand how important it is for you to be aware of your rights as an employee. Because these folks going to get over on you. It ain't just the white folks that try to get over on you. Your own kind of get over on you. If you can have a black boss, a black supervisor, they will do the same thing. They ain't no better than these white ones. Some of them worse. I don't look at skin color. I look at somebody's character. Once you show me that you shady, it don't matter to me. Once you show me that you a shady person, I don't care if you're black or white. I just don't want any parts of you. As simple as that. Or if I got to work with you, that's all it's going to be. We just going to work together, but I'm not going to do all that friendly stuff. I'm not going to be hanging out with you and going to Starbucks with you. We ain't doing all that other casual stuff. Yeah, but you know, that's something that I just felt was very imperative that I schooled y'all on about today. Please, when it comes to these workplaces, when you get a job for the first time, read your handbook. Be aware of your company workplace policy. rules, procedures, and regulations. You need to be aware of that, so you don't get taken advantage of and you don't be used, okay? Because everybody does not have your best interests. And you can be the best employee in the world. You can be the most dedicated. You can be the most loyal. You can be all of that. And it's not going to stop anybody from using you. Okay? But on that note, I definitely want to thank all of you for tuning in with your girl, me, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha here at Cafe de Paris. Also, let all of you guys and you ladies know I am still working on my book, DNA. If you want a sample of that book, if it's a book that you think you would be interested in, you can email me at cafedeparis79@yahoo.com. That way, when the official product is finished and that book is done, I can, submit you a copy of it, okay? Of course, it's going to be a little fee, but it's going to be small or whatever, because the proceeds that I get from the book is going to help me to better my channel. To help me step up my channel a little bit more. I want to get a better computer, laptop and stuff, so I want to try to advance in the game a little bit, because I see that my fan base, my viewers have increased a lot, so I don't want to keep staying on this basic level. I'm trying to step my game up just a little bit, because too much is given, much is required. So if you're interested in getting a sample of that book, it's called DNA Digging Attention, Black Broken Woman's Disease. It's going to be really good material. I'm going to break down all of the elements, guys. I'm going to put you men onto so much tricks and schemes. I'm going to I'm going to put you in the mind of how women think, why we do what we do. And why the games, the schemes, you're going to get a really, really deeper connection, a really deep understanding as to why a lot of these women are pulling the stunts that they pull and the things that they do. I'm going to expose you to that world of how black women think, why they do the things they do, why they pull the tricks they pull, and all of that. And the reason this book is going to be great for black women, because I think it's going to also teach you something about yourself. I'm learning more and more about myself as I am doing this book. So it's teaching me about me, as well as this book is going to teach y'all about y'all, okay? But this is not a feminist book, and this is not one of those books that's bashing black men, and it's not making all black women look bad. It's only certain ones, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to school you and share my knowledge, share my wisdom for those who are willing to receive it and everything. So if you want the sample of that book, hit me up on that email. All you got to put in the email is sample. You don't have to explain, the email or why that you need me to send it. Just put sample. I'll already see your email within that address, and I will send you the sample right away. I believe the book is really going to be a big inspiration to you. If you like a lot of my videos and you like Exactly and Lamar, and that's just why I'm doing this book. Because I'm going to show you how the games are played. I'm going to explain. I'm going to break down all of those elements. It's not too many female authors that's going to expose women on the level that I'm going to expose them on. So you do not want to miss out on this book. It's going to be some very valuable information. Okay? If you guys like the majority of my videos, you're not going to be disappointed with this book. Because this book, if anything, I'm writing every word. I'm putting all of my energy, my knowledge, and my wisdom. So you're going to get a lot of valuable information. So trust and believe it's going to be worth the investment. And not only that, I'm going to take the proceeds and boost up my channel and make things a little bit better. I've been meeting with some of my viewers and everything personally, and that's been a blessing for people to meet with me, and not just in front of the camera, but outside of the camera as well. I've been able to meet with some of my viewers. I've been able to vibe with some of them, had good conversation with some of the ladies and everything. So I enjoy what I do. I'm actually having fun with my channel, and I'm glad that I've been able to bless so many people on so many different levels. So send me that email if you want that sample, and I will give it over, and I will make sure you get it today. So on that note, I want to thank all of you for tuning in and rocking out with your girl, me, Lady Mocha, here at Cafe de Paris. I'm always serving you guys wisdom and knowledge. So on that note, thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off a slice of knowledge. And I will be uploading very soon, so y'all be on the lookout for me, y'all, okay? Talk to y'all later. This is your girl, Lady Mocha, and I am signing off.